Yeah, back once again, Trey, with another album review. The Clash, London's Calling. This was requested by Eric in my community area. Um, I've reacted to, I want to say, 19, 20 plus The Clash songs, but I don't remember hearing nothing off this album that I reacted to. So it's like, a double album, and I've been reacting to so much Clash, but there's nothing off this album. So it was a fun and new listening experience. I was a little intimidated. Double album, 19 tracks, punk rock. But surprisingly, it wasn't just. Can you even categorize this as a punk rock album? Because they got ska, they got reggae, they even got elements of R&B in here. It's a lot of genre bending. They keeping elements of punk rock, but it's a lot of genre bending going on in here that made it an interesting and engaging listen for all 19 tracks. I thought we was just gonna try to punk rock me for 19 tracks straight. It would have been kind of tough and redundant, but I think they did a good job of showing range and versatility on this. The album starts with London's Calling, great guitar work from the electric and that bass. Realistically, that bass is the MVP, the driving force of this whole song. Content wise, it's a lot of social and political content, speaking on social illnesses and political anxieties and almost end of the world apocalyptic talk going on lyrically. But man, instrumentally, I love it the most. Vocally, it's solid, but instrumentally, that bass line is super dope. Um, the next song, I gotta get this track list. Brand New Cadillac. I really like the instrumentation on this too. Vocally, he's erratic. He's like really erratic, really spontaneous vocally on here. As much as I enjoy the instrumentation on Brand New Cadillac, those vocals really are attention grabbing, and he is just letting it go. Like he's letting it loose. He is giving it up vocally on Brand New Cadillac. The next track, Jimmy Jazz, has a great cinematic intro where you can hear a good whistle going on, but underneath whoever that is whistling, you hear smooth bass lines, smooth guitar chords, and then we get into the track itself. Vocally, he sounds great. Sounds good. Um, Great brass section on there. A lot of good horns. Got a good sax solo in there. Good sax section towards the end. Got good guitar bridges and solos playing in there. Just all around dope instrumentation, and I like how they blended in the brass and the sax to give you a little more flavor of jazz in a song called Jimmy Jazz. Then the next song, Hateful, they up the tempo. The tempo picks up more of an anthem, which sound like lyrically he's scoring drugs from somebody. He is happy that he can get anything from this guy. It's not for free. That's why it's like he gotta be buying drugs because I can get anything, but it's not for free. But he's excited and ecstatic by it, and it has a nice guitar solo on here too, on the song Hateful. Next track, Rudy Can't Fail, sounds like a party. I really like the drum work on this song. Real high energy, explosive drums, explosive instrumentation all the way throughout this. I definitely can hear this working very well at a show at the time. Like if you were young and this came out and you discovered this, you and your friends is partying to Rudy Can't Fail for sure. Very high energy. I do like that. Spanish Bombs. it's interesting because musically it's probably the most easily digestible because of the guitar melodies and chords, but lyrically some of the heaviest content because they're talking about the Spanish Civil War and the things that was happening during that time. So it's like a juxtaposition that as upbeat and melodic as the instrumentation is on Spanish Bombs, the content is dark. It's like a crazy contrast, but I'm always intrigued by songs like that who sonically may sound a certain way, but musically has a whole different, I mean, lyrically has a whole different feel. That's what Spanish Bombs is. The next song, The Right Profile, seems to be personifying the rock star lifestyle, but he names it Montgomery Cliff. Onlookers are going by because Montgomery Cliff has crashed his car. His life is spiraling out of control, and he's in his own way with his self destruction, is what I'm getting from it lyrically. Big horns on the chorus. That chorus feels anthem. Like I could imagine one of these shows playing The Right Profile with those big horns like that. The big horn section on that chorus definitely makes it an anthem. Then we go to the smooth groove of Lost in the Supermarket. That bass line is amazing. He is vocally delicate on here. Very delicate on here vocally over this smooth groove. But to say this was made, what, in the 70s, very relevant to today. Definitely still holds weight on the modern society on what he's speaking about lyrically. But one of my favorites on here, Lost in the Supermarket, because it's so smooth and it's so grooving, and content is so relatable. The next track, Clamp Down, sonically, I could hear them opening up their shows with this. Very rock pop type of record that if they wanted to make a single for the album, Clamp Down could have been a single. That's how anthem it feels. That's how you can get off some good crowd participation at a show. It just feels like a good radio record. Content wise, would probably stop it from being a radio record because they speaking on standing up to authority. Shit, most of the records. You can tell while I'm listening to this project, they wasn't looking for no singles. They was just being creative. They wasn't worried about no radio singles because it's no way the content that they singing about on this project would have. I don't think the powers that be would have been trying to suppress that because also the next track, the Guns of Brixton, as I'm googling a good link for the song and making sure I got the right one because it kept popping up live shows on my YouTube. But I seen Google, there's an article that's kind of saying that this song, The Guns of Brixton, was the song cry for the riots in Brixton, you know, for the riots in Brixton. Now, I don't know if that was their intention, but they just doing what hip hop did in the 80s and early 90s, speaking on what's going on around them and the injustice that was going on in Brixton. And it just so happened that riots break out in Brixton right after the song comes out. But sound wise, they in more of a reggae bag. Sonically, that bass line on here, grooving, super fire, but real dark, ominous type of vibes sonically. But hey, became a war cry when they was going at it in Brixton. So well executed pen, you know what I mean? They speaking on real life shit. And it's affecting real life where they're from. Next track on the project is Rongamboya. They more in a Scott rock, like a Scott rock bag. Great horns, great drums and percussion. Song seems to be about greed. Somebody who has everything they need but still wants more and just gonna keep on fighting for more and more and more and don't know what's the limitation. And some great keyword. The keyword on here is also dope on Wrong on Boya. The next song is Coca Cola. I mean, the title. Picture Mad Men replace the drinks with cocaine. It's like they're talking about advertisers and how they on cocaine and it's drug fueled, but they're also kind of making you an addict to what they're advertising. It's a good parallel on advertisement and manipulation along with the cocaine manipulation. Like I said, if you ever watch Mad Men and they run like an advertising agency, replace the scotch and the whiskey and just put a bunch of lines. That's what Coca Cola is about. But instrumentation, great as the rest of the project is. Instrumentally on point. The cheat card, I mean, the card cheat. Key work is phenomenal. Great vocals, great drums, great horns. Also seem to be about drugs too. Also seem to be about drugs. Also seem to be about drugs. Lovers Rock is the song for the ladies. If you brought your lady to the show or the ladies went to the show, I'm pretty sure Lover Rock got played if it was enough women in the crowd. We made this for the groupies that came tonight. You know, I'm going to sing directly into her eyes. But badass bass line, great keys. Four horsemen of the apocalypse. You know, great drum work, great key work. I'm not down. Amazing bass line on I'm Not Down. You know, uplifting song. Great electric guitar also. Revolutionary rock. They jump back in the reggae bag. Great trumpets, great percussion, great drums. And Train in Vain is a great smooth groove to close out the album. Overall, I've enjoyed The Clash before I listened to this project because, like I said, I have over 15 Clash reactions on my Fish Out of Water channel. But it was dope to sit down with a full length project and get the total feel. And I'm glad it was this because the content that they speaking on this whole project is right up my alley. I love when you're speaking on society issues, political issues, you speaking up for the people who have no voices, like you representing for the average man, speaking from the average man's point of view on a lot of these songs who are going through social injustice. I really like that. They didn't have to do that. They the Clash. They could have made music about anything, but to choose to speak about something on a double disc, the whole disc, the whole two discs, they except for Lovers Rock. Lovers Rock is like the only song that's not about something. Everything else has substance or a story with substance. Lovers Rock is you trying to bring the ladies out to the show. Overall, dope project though. I enjoyed it. It's lengthy. My favorites off of this project: The Guns of Brixton, um, Revolutionary Rock, um, London's Calling, Rudy Kane Fell, Spanish Bombs. Those are my favorites. But I appreciate y'all listening and y'all watching. Let me know in the comments what y'all want me to do next. Until next time, peace.